Today, for our weekly discussion, we're talking ethics as a technician. So last week when we talked in the customer video, I said that there's still like that time and place where it is your job to be a professional and be a quality personal service, right? Well, that extends kind of into this video on technician ethics. Now, I think there's a very fine line that gets built when you end up working on cars every day. And what I mean by that is, like, right away, when you first start working on cars, it's new, it's everything you're doing is new, right? You're not used to anything, so you're asking a lot of questions, you're being really, really cautious, and all this stuff. As you get more used to it, you get more comfortable, and it's easier to just do things because, okay, that's how you should do it, or that's how it's done, and not even really think about it. Now, outside of straight up stealing from customers, which is never okay, and it just drives me nuts, you guys. If you can't make an honest living doing this, then do something else. And I'm here to tell you that everyone can, because I by far am one of the least experienced technicians at my shop. I'm one of the youngest technicians at my shop, and I still find a way to make a paycheck without screwing people, even with the limited knowledge I have compared to others. So, and that's any job. I mean, any job you could cheat people out of something for your own benefit, and if you're going to do it like that, you shouldn't be doing whatever you're doing. That being said, so let's get going. Perfect example for this video was a car that I actually worked on yesterday. This lady came in. This lady has a newer vehicle, 2015, and she was planning a trip to Florida. So she wanted her wheels rotated and balanced. She wanted new wiper inserts, an oil change, and her AC recharged, evacuated and recharged. Now this is a good example because it has nothing to do with flat-right stealing from a customer, because that's what she wants done. But you can tell that this lady doesn't really know anything about vehicles. You can just tell, and all this stuff was pretty unnecessary. I mean, her car was a 2015, low mileage, relatively low mileage, and for starters, the tires looked like they had just been put on. So to balance them when there's no shake or any vibration, kind of a waste of your money. All right, the wiper inserts, nothing wrong with those at all. They weren't streaky, so kind of a waste of your money. And evac and recharge the AC. Now, that one, really, I mean, I don't understand something like that, why you would want to open the system if everything was working. And my work order actually said, customer states AC is working perfectly fine. So, again, I like this example because the customer is requesting this work done. And I could advise against it, I guess. I could say you really don't need to do this. But again, we're trying to make a living, so you don't want to talk yourself out of every job either. If it was a safety concern, if someone was like, hey, I want you to put in these 3-foot wheel spacers, I might have something to say about that. I'm not going to make a buck just so that some guy can go roll his truck or whatever, the spacer, whatever the case may be. If it's a safety thing, that's different. But as a technician, you could advise that, okay, well, I don't think this needs to be done here. I think this needs a little more attention at the moment. But at the end of the day, it's the customer's choice. So, as much as the quick hour would benefit me for that AC evac and recharge, because it's really not hard at all, I had to advise against that because I just didn't feel right about the lady wasting her money on something that's really completely unneeded. Now, I didn't try super hard to, I didn't tell her, no, we're not going to do that. And again, that's not your place. The customer comes in, they want something done, they're the customer. At the end of the day, it is their choice. But she still wanted to do it anyway. So, I did it, right? Now, I bet a lot of guys out there would think, well, it's perfectly fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. And there wasn't. I tested it. There was nothing wrong with it. And, well, we're just going to give it a few minutes in the back, let it sit there, and then run it out. That's that fine line I'm talking about, because is there any damage done by doing that? No. It'll work the same way it worked when it came in, which is great. But if the customer requested that service is done, you need to perform that. And here's why. In that case, maybe it doesn't hurt anything, right? But I think that's a very slippery slope. Eventually, you do tires and you're like, I don't need to do the alignment. It's going to be fine. It pulled fine, or it didn't pull. And the tires that I took off were wearing fine. You know what I mean? I just think it kind of compiles and goes and goes and goes, and all of a sudden you're a hack. And the world has enough hacks. I mean, we see enough of it on a daily basis as technicians in shops. We see things that have been hacked together and people that have really screwed up cars. Case in point, last week, customer had his car towed in. And this is what drives me nuts about this stuff, is you think about it, that customer had to take time out of his day to get his car towed in, miss work, miss being with his family, whatever the case may be, just like the rest of us. I mean, I like to go home at the end of a day and have things go smoothly, right? Not only that, but he had to deal with the stress of his car breaking down in the middle of the road and deal with paying a tow company to tow it to my dealership so we can fix it. Now, his statement was, well, my car just stalls, it'll just die, and I've never had a check engine light, I don't understand. And it's an older Camry, like the one we're in right now, and do the light check, one of my coworkers, and notices the check engine light doesn't come on at all. Well, that's weird, maybe the bulb burnt out. Then he's like, well, that's an LED bulb. So pull the cluster out and peels back the plastic where the gauge plate is, where the numbers and stuff are. And someone had actually taken a little syringe and injected black silicone into the hole for the check engine light. Come on, are you, like, seriously? So someone did that just to make a sale, and in turn wasted a bunch of this guy's time and a bunch of this guy's money. And that's the whole reason that we as technicians and we in the auto industry in general get a bad rap, is crap like that. And there's bad people everywhere you meet. But it is your obligation to do a good job and to do something to the best of your ability. Does that mean we never screw stuff up? No. But if you try your best and you research and you ask questions, you try to do a good job, that's a heck of a lot different than screwing someone because you want to make a paycheck or you want to pad your paycheck. Don't do that. Or you get stuck. I've seen that too. Someone gets stuck and here comes the parts cannon. Just start hammering parts at something. I guess my main point in this video was that if you let things like that AC system that I just explained, wouldn't be the end of the world, right? I did it anyway because to me, that's a slippery slope. You start skipping out on stuff where it really probably wouldn't matter, but you should do it, but whatever. It's only a matter of time before you get comfortable with that and everything's a downward slope. So don't be a hack. Be honest, do your best job you can do, and try to keep cars on the road and keep people safe. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell button so you know when more videos are coming out, and let me know about some of your experiences. I like to hear some of these stories, you guys. So drop them down in the comments, let me know what you think. Until then, tune in next week. See ya.